Good evening, everyone. This is my personal James Bond ranking video. Let's get started. At number 24, we have On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Now, I find this film very painful to watch because I find George Lazenby very painful to watch. I think the plot is stupid. I think the film is just absolutely boring as hell. If he would have gone on to do more James Bond films, then maybe he would have grown into the part. But I just do not like this film whatsoever. I have watched it quite a few times now, and each time I watch it, I'm just as bored or even more bored than the previous time I watched it. Anyway, so that's number 24. At number 23, we have Spectre. Now, with Spectre, I actually quite like this film. I actually think it's a good James Bond film. I like Daniel Craig as James Bond. The first hour of the movie I do find a little bit boring, but I do enjoy the second hour more than the first hour. I like it when they're back at MI6 and things like that. And I actually think it's quite a good, interesting James Bond film to watch. Anyway, that's 23. At number 22, we have Thunderball. Now, with Thunderball, I really enjoy this film. I think it's a great James Bond film. I think Sean Connery is probably at his best in this film. And I even like the underwater scenes as well. I don't find them boring like some people do. And I really, really enjoy this film. So that's that one. Right, at number 21, we have Dr. No. Now, this is the one that kicked it all off. I really enjoyed this film. I think that Sean Connery, again, is... I think the introduction to Sean Connery is really, really good. I enjoy the plot. And I just think it's a really good James Bond film. The first one to kick the series off. I think that they couldn't go with a more better film than kicking it off with Dr. No. Right, at number 20, we have Die Another Day. Now, this is a guilty pleasure. I know that there is a lot of things wrong with this film. Don't get me wrong, the CGI is absolutely terrible. But I do actually enjoy the film. If you just want to relax on a Sunday afternoon, then this is the film to watch, where you don't have to think too much. And yes, it's just a really, really good James Bond film for that reason alone. But the plot is stupid. And like I said, the CGI is absolutely terrible. But I do like it. At number 19, we have probably the greatest title of a James Bond film ever, I think, is Octopussy. Now, I really enjoy this film. I really do. I don't think that Roger Moore is too old in this film. He still looks okay to me. It's a very, very campy and silly James Bond film, but I do actually like the campy James Bond films as well as the more serious ones like License to Kill and things like that. But yeah, I really enjoy Octopussy a lot. So that's number 19. At number 18, we have Sean Connery's last official James Bond film, which is Diamonds Are Forever. I really enjoy this movie a lot. I really like Mr. Wind and Mr. Kidd. I think they're good henchmen. I really laugh every time they're on screen. I just think they're just brilliant henchmen. And even the guy that played Blofeld in this film who was also in another Sean Connery James Bond film, which we'll get to in a minute. I actually think he done an okay job. He's not my favourite. Donald Pleasance is no doubt my favourite Blofeld of all time. But yes, I think the film is actually quite good. I really enjoy it, to be honest. I really do. Right. At number 17, we have Moonraker. Now, I actually really, really enjoy this film. I really do. I think it was actually one of my first James Bond films I ever saw, to be honest, when I was a kid. I do actually really like this film. Um, I think Roger Moore is really good in it. I think he's really into the part of James Bond at this point in the series. And I just think it's a really good James Bond film. The plot is stupid, yes, of course it is. But for a lazy Sunday afternoon, again, like I said with Die Another Day, for a lazy Sunday afternoon, I think it's a really good James Bond film to watch. I really do. At number 16, I think, yep, 16, we have Live and Let Die. Roger Moore's very first James Bond film that he done. The song, the title song, is absolutely fantastic. It really is. I mean, Paul McCartney and Wings. Yes, it's a great song. Um, I am actually a Roger Moore fan of his Bond films. I really like Roger Moore's James Bond. He's not my favourite, but I do like Roger Moore's James Bond, and I think this is a really, really good James Bond film. I think the plot is very, very good and very interesting, and I just really, really like this film. At number 15, we have Roger Moore's second Bond film, The Man with the Golden Gun. I actually really like this film. I really do. Yes, I do agree that they did try to turn Roger Moore into Sean Connery with a couple of scenes which didn't really work. And even Roger Moore admitted himself in interviews that he was very, very uncomfortable slapping a woman in the film and things like that. But I do actually really enjoy this film. I think that Christopher Lee as the villain is fantastic. I really like Christopher Lee. I also really like Nick Nack as well. I can't actually remember what his real name is in real life, but I do like Nick Nack as a henchman. He just makes me laugh. He's just yes, he's just a great henchman. I really like him. To be honest, I really do. At number 14, we have For Your Eyes Only. Now, again, like I said, I really enjoy the Roger Moore James Bond films. I think For Your Eyes Only is a really, really good James Bond film to watch. I like the the callback at the beginning of the film where he goes to visit Tracy's grave. I think that's really, really good. Um, and yes, and I really enjoy this film. To be honest, I really do. So that's For Your Eyes Only. At number 13, we have You Only Live Twice. Now, I really enjoy this film again. I've heard a lot of people say that Sean Connery looks quite bored in the film. I don't personally think he does. I really enjoy this film. Like I said, Donald Pleasance is my favourite Blofeld of all time. Um, and I wish he would have stuck around to do Diamonds Are Forever, to be honest. I really do enjoy You Only Live Twice. So that's You Only Live Twice. Right, at number 12, we have Tomorrow Never Dies. Pierce Brosnan's second James Bond film. I really enjoy this film. I think Elliot Carver, the villain, is really, really good. I like the idea that he's trying to start World War III. And I think that Pierce Brosnan is probably nearly at his best by this film, to be honest. So that is Tomorrow Never Dies. Right, at number 11, we have A View to a Kill. Now, A View to a Kill, I actually really enjoy watching this film. Yes, Roger Moore is a bit too old to be doing the part by this stage. I think he was about 57, 58 when he done this one. But I am a huge fan of Christopher Walken, which I think is a great villain. I like the sort of villains where they play a really insane, like screwed up villain, and you certainly get that with Christopher Walken. So yes, I really enjoy A View to a Kill. And in actual fact, I don't think Roger Moore looked that bad in the film. If I'm absolutely honest. I mean, thank God he didn't do any more because he would have been way too old if he would have done one more. But for his last Bond film, I think it was actually quite good, to be honest. I really do. And I really enjoy Christopher Walken in the film. Right, we are now getting into the top 10 of James Bond films for me. So, for my kicking off at my number 10 is The World Is Not Enough. Now, I really enjoy this film. I really do. I think that Pierce Brosnan is at his very best as James Bond in this film. Dr. Christmas Jones, I can't remember her real name, to be honest. I don't think she actually done a bad job, to be honest. I know a lot of people have complained about her acting in the past, but I think she actually done quite a good job, to be honest. Yes, and I really enjoyed the main Bond girl, the villain in it. I can't remember her name now. But I thought she was really good. Extremely sexy, very sexy. And I just really enjoyed this film, to be honest. At my number 9 spot, we have From Russia with Love, Sean Connery's second James Bond film. I really enjoyed this film. I really do. I think it's a great film. It's a great classic spy movie. I like the train sequence. I specifically like Red Grant in it. I think he's an absolute fantastic henchman. I really do. And yes, I just really enjoy this film. At number 8, we have The Living Daylights. Now, I really like Timothy Dalton as James Bond. And in actual fact, he done my favourite James Bond, one of my favourite James Bond films of all time, which is License to Kill. But we'll get to that one in a minute. But yes, The Living Daylights, I think, is a very underrated James Bond film. It's a really fun watch. There is a couple of things that do annoy me about the film, and that is the Bond girl in it. She does annoy me. She does irritate me a little bit. But, you know, I can look past that. Also, one of the other things that annoys me about the film is one of the main villains in the film. He also showed up in Goldeneye as a good guy, playing a different character. So the same actor but playing a different character. That annoys me a little bit when they recycle actors to play other parts in other films. But apart from that, I can look past that, and it is a fun watch, and I do enjoy it. Right, kicking off at number 7, we have The Spy Who Loved Me. Now, I really enjoy The Spy Who Loved Me. It's Roger Moore's third Bond film, excuse me. Roger Moore's third Bond film. I think he's really into the part by this film. I really enjoy this film. I really do. I absolutely love this film. And actually, a callback to A View to a Kill. Sorry, not A View to a Kill. What's it called? Hang on a minute. Live and Let Die, and A Man with the Golden Gun. I really do enjoy the Sheriff Pepper in it. I think he's absolutely really funny. I really enjoy him in both of those films. But yes, that is my number 7, The Spy Who Loved Me. Okay, at my number 6, we have Goldeneye. Now, I really enjoyed this film. I think Pierce Brosnan done an absolute fantastic job in bringing the series back. He's actually the James Bond that I grew up with. So he's probably my third favourite James Bond who's played the part. To be honest, but I'll do another video on my favourite actors another day. But yes, for Pierce Brosnan to kick off this series again with Goldeneye, it's a fantastic film, a fantastic villain. I like the twist in the film. A good plot, and it's just a really fun watch. It's a great Bond film. Kicking off at my top 5 now, we have License to Kill. Now, I really, really enjoy this film. I just think the plot is brilliant. I really enjoy Sanchez. I can't remember his real name. I'm no good with actors and names, to be honest. But yes, I do enjoy this film very much. I like the fact that it's quite violent. I do like that it's quite dark and violent. I know that a lot of people didn't like this film when it first came out because I've heard reviews and things like that. But I really, really enjoy this film. To be honest, I really do. Right, kicking off at my number 4, we have Skyfall. Now, Skyfall is an absolute fantastic James Bond film. If I was to introduce anyone into the series, if they've never watched a James Bond film before, this will probably be the one that I would tell them to watch. Either this or Goldfinger, because this is an absolute fantastic James Bond film. It has everything that you want from a James Bond film and more. It has a fantastic villain. I think that Daniel Craig is really at his best in this film. And it is a shame that No Time to Die is his last James Bond film, because I'd like to see him in one or two more, because I don't think he's too old to do it still, and I just think that he should do at least another one or two. But it's a shame he's not. But anyway, so yeah, that is my number 4. My number 3 is Casino Royale, Daniel Craig's first James Bond film. I really, really enjoy this film. Really do. It's a fantastic James Bond film. It was the first, I believe it was the first novel written by Ian Fleming. I believe it was. I can't be 100% sure on that, but I believe it was the first novel that he wrote. And yeah, I just really, really enjoyed this film, to be honest. When I went to the cinema when it first came out in 2006, I got to admit, I didn't enjoy it at all. I didn't like Daniel Craig as James Bond. I didn't think we could have a blonde actor playing James Bond. But after rewatching it a few times when it came out on DVD and Blu-ray, I actually really started to like Daniel Craig, and I got used to him, and I really enjoyed it, and I couldn't wait for him to do another one. But yes, and also, as you can see, this is the deluxe edition that I bought, and I just really, really enjoy this film. And I always watch the Daniel Craig ones as well. I always watch the Daniel Craig ones in order. I never watch like sort of Spectre before Casino Royale or anything like that. I always watch these 4 James Bond films together, back to back. So yeah, so that's what I always do. Right, my number 2 spot is Goldfinger. Now, Goldfinger is an absolute fantastic James Bond film. I love everything about this film. I could watch this film at any time. I just love it. I just think it's a great plot. I love the actor who plays Goldfinger. I think Sean Connery is at his very best in this film. And also introduced us to the Aston Martin DB5, which is my favourite James Bond car ever. And I just think it's an absolute great film to watch. Fantastic. I love the girl being painted gold on the bed. I love Oddjob with the hat. I think that was fantastic as well. So overall, just a fantastic James Bond film. Right, now, before I get to my number 1, I know that a lot of people have put this film down. I do not think it deserves the hate that it gets. It's my favourite James Bond film of all time. It'll always be my number 1. Even when No Time to Die comes out, I don't think that anything could top this James Bond film. So we'll get to it now. My number 1 James Bond film is Quantum of Solace. Now, I think this is an absolute fantastic James Bond film for a few reasons. One is I think it's a great continuation from Casino Royale. I think that Daniel Craig is at his best in this film, or yes, he's actually at his best in this film. I like the I have one complaint about the film, and that is the villain, Dominic Green. He's a bit weak in certain parts, but I can look past that because I just really enjoyed this film. To be honest, it's my number one film. A lot of people said that the editing and there's too much action in the film, but it's a James Bond film. You want action in a James Bond film. Yes, you need to let the story flow as well, but I think it does both. I think it lets the story flow and it's just got a great amount of action in it. The editing, I know a lot of people have complained about the editing in this film. I personally do not have a problem with it because it brings you right into the action when the editing is the way it is in this film. So that is my number one, Quantum of Solace. I loved this film when I first saw it in the cinema, and I still love it just as much, if not more, now. Um, anyway, that is my ranking of all of the James Bond films. Post your comments down below to let me know your list, and I will see you in the next video when I do another one. Okay, thank you and take care.